I've done a little work. Um, well, in order, um, these fuckers, um, I thought it was the water feature that I gave them. I found a dead tropical fish lying on the ground. Um, so I took the water feature away. Then, um, after I had done other fencing, I watched one of these ones. I do actually have some matched pairs now, but that doesn't really matter. I watched one just yeet itself out of the water and flop around on the ground. It made it back in, but no, they can't be trusted not to yeet themselves out of the water, so they got a fence. But taking away the water feature because I found dead fish and then another one missing was what happened first. Then I expanded this and classed it up with the calcite because a different geode than that first one I saw, but I have harvested the entirety of a geode, so I had the calcite to make them a bigger pool and make it, fancier. I have replanted some bamboo. Oh, I had looked up more about panda genetics. In-game panda genetics, not, real world panda genetics. And the fence is to keep the pandas out. That head shake was we have wandered too far away from bamboo, so we're refusing to breed head shake. But there's apparently a bunch of different varieties, but most of it is subtle, and I'd have to be looking directly at their face, and even then I can't necessarily remember which ones are which. Like, the brown ones and the weak ones. Well, okay, grumpy is more obvious than some of the others. I don't remember what your actual label is, but the one with the big grumpy gray eyebrows. Oh, that's another one that I replanted out here that hasn't done its thing, so I'll take it back. I did plant some more out here. Because I got that head shake out here where they chose to be. But yeah, there's a bunch of different varieties. The playful ones are the ones that roll. The brown ones are the brown ones. The blue-eyed, green-mouthed ones are weak. But yeah, there's a bunch of them, and I would have to have the page open with all of them and the nuances in the layout of their face to know which kind this one is just offhand. Are you the plain one? Are you a lazy one? Are you a what? But yeah, ones that haven't sprouted after this long aren't gonna. So there's that. There's a bunch more types, and then they have. Now it's supposed to breed, true, the brown. So me getting something else was a rare outcome. Because they do have some random chance still in there. I had stretched my borders out another 5 blocks. And a few trees are in it or directly adjacent to it. But the the merchant and his alpacas who have now fucked off. Yay. Thankfully, we're outside the boundaries when I fenced them off. But I don't think they're gonna go up the vines on a tree to get over the fence to get inside. Same with the pandas. So this should be fine. To keep everything else out. Keep the other stuff in. I used up a bunch of the bamboo I had to make bamboo planks to make bamboo fence. That's fine. I replanted a bunch too. I did poke around some more. I had to toss a saddle because I didn't have room in my inventory for it. There was a spawner, the little cage, and the cobblestone and mossy cobblestone partial room they're in, and the chest. I didn't break that down because I didn't have the inventory space. I didn't give a fuck about the saddle, so I tossed that because I didn't have room for everything. I kept the rotting flesh. Not that I have a use for that either, but more so than a saddle. Which is to say, probably none at all, ever. But yeah, I've been poking around down there, but there's a lot. And it's gonna be easy to, lose track of shit or get lost. But yeah. Not all, but most of the... Okay, everything that isn't along the edges of that new 5 that I added is stuff that I replanted. So... But, that's fine. It's, renewable in a timely fashion, and because there aren't pandas in here, things closer to that edge, because things scatter. But I don't have to worry about pandas wandering in and eating it, and then getting stuck in the area that I don't want them in. Because, then if and when I decide to build, they'll also be in the way for that. Some of it takes its sweet time falling from the sky. That's okay. Not. I think I will eventually mark this in a clearer and more interesting way. But I'm not sure quite how I'd want to do that yet, so I haven't done it yet. disappeared, so you are a new one. That one doesn't have headroom. Not on that side. Well, you did. You just missed it. Look, that space is 2 squares high. You're just refusing to move into it. Stubborn. You're no longer connected to wood, so you get to break. Of course you're falling on that. That's alright. spawning downstairs less prolifically, and sometimes also I find dead ones, so less successfully than these, which I've stopped collecting because I have more than enough already. But I would have to find ocean to find kelp and then actually collect it, because yeah, I don't think I can grow it. And even then, I'm not sure if that's actually a thing I can do. Yeah, that's fine. That's just that. It is faster for me to do that myself. There. That's an idea. Nope. Go away. I did not. I do not want that open generally. I want it open when I'm dealing with that. One side. I mean, really, I can jump up and do that way. So I don't need to leave these. For that, so I could go cut off your canopy too. Then there's one more that's actually within it instead of just outside. That's you. There. Now we're growing chocolate. Cocoa. Cacao. I mean, unless you're, like, paying attention, it doesn't stand out that much that, like, it's obvious there's something missing if you look at it, but because it's still got the branches and all the vines, it doesn't stand out as much that I chopped the head off. No, I didn't take a look at which side is you, actually. You get me farthest, and you will actually cooperate with me. Yeah, you're just a bit taller. I saw the corner of my eye, that one hanging down from above corner of my eye line. So I wondered just how much taller it was. I see melons. I got a couple of melon seeds out of that chest where the spawner had been. But I could go get more melons. Not that I'm planting anything at the moment, other than bamboo, I guess. I may plant one of these, a 4-square, just to have the tall, ideally viney path up without having to like build a ladder up along something to something else. It's like, I can go over the fence that way, but traders and their alpacas probably wouldn't. Not that they couldn't, hypothetically. Just I don't think they would. Those ripened faster than I thought. Not that I'm entirely sure what controls that, but I thought they'd take longer than that. No, no, I want to keep you. I had well, I have this because I dug holes. And when I was down poking around, of course there's stuff on ceilings and just higher up generally that I couldn't get to even if I wanted to because I didn't have anything to put down to elevate myself up to it. So, remembering to do that, and also not have too many of these full, because I can fill them down there, but also sometimes there's lava that I'm going to turn into a block of obsidian instead, and I want to be able to scoop it out without having to empty the bucket first. But yeah, been poking around at this more. And I did actually remember to look up some things. Before I go looking for kelp, if I bother to go looking for it at all, I might look up whether or not that's something you can grow. But I'm not sure I care enough. And I'm not sure how far away it is. So, not sure about how that'll go. Hopefully, the fish will stop eating themselves onto land and dying for it. And all of them seem perfectly content to. Now, when I was doing this, of course, this half had already been dug and they were in it. So, of course, trying to do all of this, they were bouncing into and off of me. And only once did one get hit by a shovel. Like, I don't know how they didn't manage to get hit more often than the once, because they were actively underfoot. Are you fucking cats? But despite being actively in the way, I managed to not kill any. So, that's how this is going. I may or may not have the brain space to pick up something where there's an actual plot. Because some of the things that were spiking my anxiety and keeping my brain from being engageable, let's say. Some of it has been managed and cleared up, or unhappily resolved, because, you know, fuck capitalism and greedy motherfucking companies. So, but what can be done about some of it has been, so less on my mental plate, distracting me from being able to focus on stuff. We'll see.